Good evening. I am Dr. Archana Malik, Associate Professor, Department of Philosophy, University of Mumbai. Welcome you for the session which is on logical reasoning. After some gap again, I am here before you. As I told you earlier, logical reasoning required many sessions, and if you remember, I have told that I need at least 6 sessions for this particular unit. So I have already taken a 4 session for Western logic, and I hope those who attend this session remember my whatever I have discussed about Western logic. Today and tomorrow, if I need, I will definitely take one more session. So I always plan my whatever I supposed to take. So today and tomorrow especially, we will discuss Indian logic. As we know, in our NET set paper 1, we have a 6th unit, that is a logical reasoning, which is a combination of Indian and Western logic. And as UGC added this Indian logic last year, and I remember most of the students have fear about it, because those who have not done philosophy, it is difficult to the non-philosophy student to understand Indian logic. If you see the syllabus, we have topics like means of knowledge, that is Pratyaksha, Anuman, Upman, Shabda, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, and structure of kinds of Anuman, Bhakti, Hetvabhas. These are the words. Those who have not heard earlier, I am very sure it's very difficult to them. I remember last year I went in SNDT University for the workshop, especially for logical reasoning paper 1. And after my session, students have came and said that, ma'am, now we understand logical reasoning. So without any background, it's very difficult to understand the particular topic. So my role is here to talk about Indian logic. So as I said that most of them may be eager, those who are participating for this workshop organized by Department of History and Ambedkarite History Congress. Before I begin, I am really thankful to Professor Sandesh and his team for the opportunity again, and I am happy for all the responses which I have got for the earlier responses and comments which I got for the earlier session. And probably I can take one RM session, because some of them have asked about the methodology, but I have not decided yet. But these 2 days I will spend with you for Indian logic, and I will think and definitely come for RM session again before you. So when you see the syllabus, so people are eager to know what is Indian logic, and people, to understand Indian logic, people should also know what is Indian philosophy. So because without understanding what is philosophy or what is Indian philosophy, Indian tradition especially, I tell you, as a teacher and student of philosophy, with my 20 years experience of the teaching and research, without knowing what is philosophy, and especially our Indian philosophy, it's very difficult to understand Indian logic. So my session is, I divided into today's session. Especially first of the session, I will talk about philosophy and what is philosophy, and then I will come under the particular topic, that is epistemology. Why? Because epistemology, the word which I am using, is a technical word for the Indian logic. Okay, how, why that technical word is there? Without knowing that, it's difficult to understand the whole syllabus. I think most of the people have attended logic, Western logic, and you can compare, if you have a earlier background of Western logic, you can compare the Indian logic as well as Western logic. But before that, as I said again and again, you should understand the philosophy, and that is especially of Indian philosophy, because there is a relation between because the objective of your unit is what? The main objective of this unit is to give details of pramanas generally accepted by different schools of Indian philosophy. Those who are non-philosophy background, if I ask you how many schools or systems are there in Indian philosophy, like history students are there, and I can see the Sikandar is there. So now if I ask you, those who don't know philosophy, they can't give the answer. Like history also has the classical, modern, and the classification is there. Even Indian philosophy has a classical philosophy, then we have a contemporary philosophy, we have modern philosophy, we have medieval philosophy. So without knowing the foundation and the root cause of this logic, this class will be definitely challenging for everybody. So each school, that Indian system, have their own reasons to uphold different pramanas. Whatever the pramana, just now I said, Pratyaksha, Anuman, Upman, and Shabda, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi. One by one, definitely I will discuss later on in detail, because I went through your question paper, and I got an idea what kind of question will be there. And at end of the last session, I will definitely discuss with you what kind of question can be asked on this particular topic. So many students have problem with about the difficulties they have about this topic. So they cannot understand clearly because they do not have a background of Indian logic, especially Indian philosophy, because Indian logic is basically based on philosophy. So you might be feel comfortable once you understand the Indian philosophy. So let me start with the Indian philosophy. What is the meaning of philosophy first? Okay, so now I'm damn sure that many of the people are actually doing PhD, MPhil. If I ask you what is the long form of PhD and MPhil, so you definitely will say the PhD is nothing but the Doctor of Philosophy, and MPhil is nothing but the Master of Philosophy. Now see, you are doing, you are using the word philosophy, you are getting the degree which has the philosophy word, but you don't know what the philosophy is. So my role is that's my moral duty to teach you. We can't teach anybody. We just discuss the subject because we are all mature people. We have a background, and we are living that life actually without knowing anything, the terminology of Indian philosophy. So philosophy basically is, we call in Hindi we call darshana. देन इन मराठी वी कॉल तत्व ज्ञानम. दर्शन का मतलब क्या होता है? दर्शन में साक्षात ज्ञान, साक्षात आपको नॉलेज होता है. साक्षात नॉलेज किसका होता है? आपके मन में कई बार सवाल आते हैं, या फिर हम कोई भी साइंस इस बात का ख्याल नहीं करता है कि व्हाट इज सम ऑफ द क्वेश्चन आर देयर विच नो साइंस डिस्कस. Only philosophy discuss that kind of science which is beyond reality, okay, beyond this world. So physical world everybody is discussing, okay, what is the nature of human being. Psychology can discuss, psychology can do the research, and they discuss this is what the human body is, this is what the mind is, and this is what the human function, mind function. So they can do that. But like what is ultimate reality, or what is ultimate goal of your life or others' life, what ultimate the nature of this world where we are living, and what happen after the death? Is there a rebirth? Is there afterbirth? This kind of question most of the sciences do not discuss. Only philosophy discuss. So philosophy is discussing this whole world as well as the topic which are beyond the world. And therefore if anybody asks me ki madam what is your subject, and this is the general experience of all philosophy fraternity, that if we say we teach philosophy, the most of the people give a reaction, oh philosophy. So matlab I said, why you are saying it's very difficult, it's beyond understanding. Why it's beyond understanding? It's not beyond understanding. if you understand, if you know the key concept or key theme of the philosophy, definitely you will not say that it's a beyond understanding. Oh, it's very difficult subject. No, it's not at all. Actually, if I give you the background now, after that you will understand that whatever we are living life, it's nothing but the life of philosophy. So let's see what philosophy is. देखते हैं philosophy क्या है, दर्शन क्या है. दर्शन में जहाँ पे ईश्वर की चर्चा होती है, दर्शन में जहाँ पे आत्मा की चर्चा होती है, धर्म की चर्चा होती है. सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं है. अगर किसी को हम बोले फिलॉसफी, अरे वो तो भगवान के बारे में बातें करते हैं, वो अदर दुनिया के बारे में बातें करते हैं, वो बियॉन्ड सब कुछ रहता है. बियॉन्ड सब कुछ नहीं रहता है. आधार उसका ये व्यवहारिक वर्ल्ड भी होता है. तो क्या है ये फिजिकल वर्ल्ड, क्या है ये बियॉन्ड वर्ल्ड, ये सबका जो फिलॉसफी जो चिकित्सक अभ्यास करता है, एकदम अंदर जाके रूट कॉज देखने की कोशिश करता है. तो इसलिए जब हम PhD डॉक्टर ऑफ फिलॉसफी अगर हम बोलते हैं, तो जो भी टॉपिक आपका है उसका आप चिकित्सक अभ्यास करते हैं, उसका साक्षात दर्शन करते हैं. आप प्रॉब्लम कॉज इफेक्ट रिलेशन देखते हैं. ओके, जब आप रिसर्च कर रहे हैं तो वो आपका टॉपिक का अंदर तक जाने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो चिकित्सक परीक्षण करने की कोशिश करते हैं. और यही तो फिलॉसफी है कि आप रूट कॉज तक जाते हैं. आप सिर्फ उसके अंदर क्या है वही नहीं चाहते, इसके अलावा भी क्या हो सकता है इसकी भी चर्चा आप करते हैं. तो इसलिए आपके डिग्रीज में फ़िलासफ़ी जोड़ा गया है कि PhD मतलब डॉक्टर ऑफ फिलॉसफी, MPhil मीन्स मास्टर ऑफ फिलॉसफी. कई लोग तो ऐसा होता है कि नाम देखते हैं और हमारे डिपार्टमेंट में आते हैं कि मैडम मास्टर ऑफ फिलॉसफी मुझे MPhil करनी है और मैंने ये किया. फिर हम उनको समझाते कि कोई भी सब्जेक्ट में आप ये डिग्री हासिल कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज उनको वो नॉलेज नहीं होता है. तो फिलॉसफी का मतलब क्या है? फिलॉसफी मीन्स साक्षात दर्शन. साक्षात दर्शन ऑफ व्हाट? See, this Archana is talking before the screen and some people are listening me and they are just in the form of words. So if I see that some words are there before me in the box of comment, my thinking will start, अरे ये क्या है, ये कौन बोल रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, क्या बात कर रहा है. तो उसकी चिकित्सा इस कोशिश करने कर जानने की रियलिटी की ये क्या है. अर्चना मलिक मैडम अगर कुछ बात कर रही है तो वो किस बारे में बात कर रही है, वो जो क्यूरियोसिटी जानने की होगी, तो आप उसको खोजने की, सत्य को खोजने की कोशिश करेंगे कि अरे आखिर ये जो मैडम बोल रही है उसका सत्य क्या है, क्यों बोल रही है, ऐसे ही तो नहीं बात कर रही है. तो हमारी सोच शुरू होती है और हम उसको अंदर तक जाने की कोशिश करते हैं, रियालिटी जानने की कोशिश करते हैं. ते मराठीमध्ये जे आम्ही म्हणतो तत्वज्ञान. तत्वज्ञान म्हणजे तत्व जे रियल इसेन्स आहे ते शोधण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. म्हणूनच याला फिलॉसॉफीला तत्वज्ञान म्हणतात. म्हणजे तत्वाचं ज्ञान शोधण्याचा प्रयत्न असतो. हिंदी में तो दर्शन बोलते हैं, हम उसका साक्षात ज्ञान करने की कोशिश करते हैं. जो हम लोग सी द सेल्फ, अगर ये अर्चना है तो ये अर्चना की रियलिटी क्या है. दिस इंडिविजुअल इज जस्ट अ माइंड बॉडी कॉम्बिनेशन, खाली शरीर और मन का कॉम्बिनेशन है, या फिर इसके अलावा भी कुछ है. जैसे आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं तो मतलब आपके सेंसेस है. तो अगर आप इस इंडिविजुअल को डिवाइड करो तो आपको सेंस ऑर्गन्स मिलेंगे, माइंड बॉडी, जो भी हम उसका एनालिसिस करेंगे हमको ये सब चीज़ें मिलेगी. पर इसके अलावा भी ये सच्चाई है कि अर्चना है. अर्चना की लाइफ खत्म होने के बाद ये अर्चना का क्या होगा, ये दुनिया खत्म होने के बाद इस दुनिया का क्या होगा, ये इसके अलावा भी आफ्टरवर्ड कुछ है. ये सब जो विचार करने का जो काम करते हैं वो फिलॉसफी करती है. तो सी द सेल्फ, सी द रियलिटी, ये द विजन ऑफ ट्रूथ, मतलब सत्य क्या है. तो यहाँ पे अगर जब हम स्पेशली इंडियन फिलॉसफी की बात करेंगे, सो देर आर मेनी विजन टू सी द ट्रूथ ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड, टू सी द लाइफ ऑफ मैन और द पर्सन और द इंडिविजुअल. सो दिस इज व्हाट, टू नो व्हाट द अल्टीमेट रियल इज, उसका साक्षात दर्शन करना फिलॉसफी का काम होता है. और इसलिए फिलॉसफी को दर्शन शास्त्र भी बोलते हैं हिंदी में, और मराठी में हम उसको तत्वज्ञान, तत्वाचे ज्ञान बोलते हैं. ओके, सो यस, तो नाउ दिस इज इंडियन. नाउ वेस्टर्न जो है, वेस्टर्न ने फिलॉसफी PHILOSOPHY, तो इस फिलॉसफी को ब्रेक किया है philo plus sophia. So philo means what? Philo means love. Okay, philo means love and the sophia means wisdom or knowledge. और अगर आप जब इसको कंबाइन करेंगे फिलो प्लस सोफिया को, फिलोसॉफी को, तो ये हो जाएगा लव ऑफ विजडम, लव ऑफ नॉलेज. ओके, सो everybody is a lover of knowledge. If you are listening here, if you are attending the workshop, you want to know more about the Indian logic or you want to know what the speaker is talking about. तो आपको जो जिज्ञासा है, आपको क्यूरियोसिटी है, ये किसके लिए? क्योंकि आप आपका नॉलेज गेन करना चाहते हैं. भले ही मैं आपके सामने लेक्चर लेने आती हूँ, पर मैंने काफ़ी जो लेक्चर वर्कशॉप सीरीज़ में होते हैं भले भी हिस्टोरिकल है, बट हिस्ट्री इंडिया की हो रही है, तो मैं भी वो सुनती हूँ, मैं भी अटेंड करती हूँ अपना नॉलेज बढ़ाने के लिए. तो क्योंकि मुझे जिज्ञासा है जानने की, मुझे वो है लव ऑफ विजडम, तो मुझे और जानना है. तो इसलिए फिलॉसफी मीन्स लव ऑफ नॉलेज और लव ऑफ विजडम. सो इसलिए जब मैं क्लास में ये टॉपिक लेती हूँ तो मैं सबको बोलती हूँ कि एवरीबडी इज अ फिलोसोफर, बिकॉज people say that अरे you are a philosopher, you are a philosopher. No, each and everybody is a philosopher. Those who have a love for knowledge, curiosity for knowledge, those who want to gain knowledge are philosophers. Fine. So this is the etymological meaning of philosophy. So it comes from the Sanskrit word darshana and tattva jnana. Okay, that is philosophy is actually we discuss in our case Indian and Western philosophy. So we are discussing Indian logic, we have to discuss Indian logic, so we have to see only Indian philosophy. So now Indian philosophy is actually, we have another periods of philosophy like classical में we have 9 vision of see the truth, that I said that कि दुनिया की सच्चाई क्या है, इस लाइफ की सच्चाई क्या है, इस होल वर्ल्ड की सच्चाई क्या है, इसको देखने के लिए 9 डिफरेंट विजन हमारे भारतीय दर्शन में है. वो कौन से हैं मैं वन बाय वन आपको डेफिनेटली बताऊंगी. तो एक क्लासिकल सेक्शन है हमारे पास, और उस फाउंडेशन को लेके फिर उस फिलॉसफी को डेवलप किया. सो हमारे पास में कंटेम्प्रेरी थिंकर्स भी है. तो क्लासिकल फिलॉसफी जिस तरह से, उसके बाद हमारे पास मॉडर्न मिडिएवल फिलॉसफी भी है, देन उसके बाद क्लासिकल मॉडर्न फिलॉसफी है. तो मॉडर्न और कंटेम्प्रेरी थिंकर जो भी फिलोसोफर बोल रहे हैं, उसका फाउंडेशन जो है वो इंडियन ट्रेडिशन है. तो ये मैं इसलिए आपके सामने बोलना चाहूँगी कि एक्चुअली इंडियन ट्रेडिशन, जो इंडियन फिलोसफी है ना, वो बहुत खूबसूरत है. कई लोगों का मिसकंसेप्शन है कि अरे फिलोसफी जस्ट वेदास. Fine, the origin of Indian philosophy is Vedas, but every thinker is not accepting Vedas. That also the researchers should understand. तो हम सिर्फ एक ही दृष्टि से भारतीय तत्वज्ञान को क्यों देखें? अगर आप यही दृष्टि से देखेंगे कि सिर्फ वेदा ही है और वेदास की वजह से सारे प्रॉब्लम्स है, तो कहीं ना कहीं मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन है, मिसकंसेप्शन है, उसके वजह से प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट. बट अगर जब मैं आपको बताऊंगी कि वेदास में एक्चुअली रूट कॉज जो भी प्रिंसिपल है, रूट प्रिंसिपल जो है, बेसिक प्रिंसिपल है, वो कुछ और नहीं, वो हमारी लाइफ है, ये वर्ल्डली लाइफ है, हमारी इंडिविजुअल की लाइफ है. तो एक्चुअली इंडियन ट्रेडिशन बहुत खूबसूरत है, बहुत अच्छा है, बट उसको देखने का नज़रिया अगर हमारा सही होगा तो हम उसे सही मायने पे पेश करेंगे. अगर हमें उसका देखने का नज़रिया ही हम क्रिटिकल पहले से ही हमने बोल दिया कि नहीं ये तो सिर्फ यही बातें करता है, तो फिर शायद हम भारतीय तत्वज्ञान को समझ ही नहीं पाएंगे. तो कोई भी इंसान को या तत्वज्ञान को या फिलोसोफर को या कोई भी सिस्टम को अगर समझना है तो एम्प्टी माइंड बैठना चाहिए. मैं हमेशा स्टूडेंट को बोलती हूँ कि क्लास में इस तरह बैठो कि मुझे कुछ नहीं मालूम, आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग, आई एम हियर टू लर्न समथिंग. तो जस्ट एम्प्टी माइंड, अगर आपके दिमाग में ये सब पहले से है कि अरे ये है वो है उसके बाद ये, तो हम आगे वाले को समझ नहीं पाते. कोई भी विषय को अगर समझना है तो हमको कम्प्लीटली एम्प्टी माइंड बैठना होगा, उसको समझने की कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी. फिर अपना रीजनिंग स्टार्ट करो, उसको कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश करो, कहाँ वो सही है अप्रिशिएट करो, जहाँ वो गलत है उसका रिजेक्शन करो. ये हमारे इंडियन कंटेम्प्रेरी थिंकर्स ने हमें सिखाया. क्लासिकल ने फाउंडेशन ऑलरेडी दे दिया है, उसके आगे उस धरोहर को भारतीय तत्वज्ञान की, भारतीय दर्शन की और भारतीय परंपरा की ट्रेडिशन को किस तरह से आगे ले जाना है, क्या चीज़ें लेनी है, क्या चीज़ें छोड़नी है, ये हमारे ऊपर होता है। तो अगर बेसिक अगर हम जब तक ना समझेंगे भारतीय तत्वज्ञान को समझना थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा। सो वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द ओरिजिन, एंड यस ओरिजिन इज वेदास, वेयर द बेसिक प्रिंसिपल इन जनरल आई एम टॉकिंग, प्लीज कीप इन माइंड, आई एम नॉट कोटिंग एनी पर्टिकुलर वेदा, इन जनरल वेदा आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द बेसिक concepts. They are like that ashrama vyavastha is there, then we have a varna vyavastha is there, then we have a runa ruta concept and the purushartha. This is the basic concept. Everybody knows, those who are attending might be, everybody must be aware about, but the last two might be, it's a philosophical issues which we are discussing. So but if once you understand the meaning, एक बार आपको पता चलेगा कि ये पुरुषार्थ वगैरह क्या है, तो शायद आपको डेफिनेटली आ जाएगा। तो now first important concept of Vedas is that ashrama vyavastha, that our individual life is basically divided into 4 stages. Okay, which are the 4 stages of life that everybody knows, that Brahmacharya ashrama, where we can say that it's a student life. Then we have Grihastha ashrama, where we are actually holding the responsibility of your family. So that Grihastha family responsibilities are there. The Grihastha role is there. Then Vanaprastha is like a retirement stage, and the sannyasa, if you want to know more about it, what's my ultimate end is, if I want a liberation, final mukti from this the worldly suffering and all, then I have to enter in the sannyasa ashrama. I can't be only just in the Vanaprastha. Yes, of course, I can have that knowledge, I can start my journey towards the final liberation, and then once I accepted that ultimate goal, then definitely I have to renounce this worldly life and I have to enter into sannyasa ashrama. So our individual life, everybody's individual life is divided into this, that student life, where you have to get the training for future responsibility, because once you enter in the Grihastha ashrama, then you have to nurture your family, your responsibility towards your kids, towards your parents are there, and then of course after a certain time you have to retire, because if you don't retire, then how can the future generation will get the opportunity? Like we are a teachers, university professor, whatever we are, at the age of 60 we should, or at the age of 40 what the niyam has given, we should retire. अगर हम ही कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे तो भविष्य में हमारे बच्चों को, हमारे स्टूडेंट को नौकरी कैसे लगेगी? तो somewhere you have to retire, because every stage में you have a responsibility. And then of course sannyasa ashrama is there. Then varnashrama is of course, अगर if you see that it's a division of class. Okay, division of class, that we call that class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. That we have a Brahman, that enlightened people class. Okay, I call Gyani Purush class. Okay, Kshatriya is like a soldiers, then Vaishya, all the vendors from small to Reliance company wala vendor, everybody is belong to Vaishya, and in Shudra those who are doing lower class. And जो छोटा काम करते हैं वो, it's actually class division, but ये क्लास डिवीजन को कास्ट सिस्टम से जोड़ के हमारे सोसाइटी में सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो कास्ट का शुरू हुआ है, वो इसी सोच की वजह से हुआ है। तो यह सोच बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है। ये क्लास डिवीजन है, हम किस तरह का काम कर रहे हैं और हम सोसाइटी में किस तरह का कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे काम के दर्जे से हमारा क्लास डिवाइड होता है। हमारे बर्थ और इससे कास्ट जिस तरह से मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन होता है वो एक्चुअली नहीं है। देन another important concept in philosophy is that Runa and Ruta. Runa and Ruta. Ruta means was cosmic order. Cosmic order means the whole nature. It's order in nature. The whole nature is actually systematic. You can see that the Vedas are systematically divided. Now summer is getting over and the winter is coming. बरखा ने अपनी एंट्री कर दी है धरती में, तो इसके बाद फिर समर, विंटर, ये जो भी है समर के बाद रेनी आएगा, रेन के बाद में विंटर आएगा, ये जो सिस्टमैटिक स्ट्रक्चर है उसको वो बैलेंस बोलते हैं, नेचर बैलेंस है। ओके, पूरे दिन का हमारा सिस्टमैटिक डिवीजन है, दिन, दोपहर, फिर रात, फिर सुबह। तो ये इस तरह से जो होता है वो एकदम सिस्टमैटिक है, कॉस्मिक ऑर्डर है। तो ये कॉस्मिक बैलेंस, नेचर में बैलेंस होता है, उसको ऋतु बोलते हैं। ऋण जो होता है, जो इंडिविजुअल इस दुनिया में आया है, ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज एक्चुअली बाउंड विद द सर्टन डेप्थ्स। ऋण तो लाइक पेरेंट्स ने हमें पैदा किया है तो पितृ ऋण इज देयर। उसके बाद गुरु हमें शिक्षा देता है तो वो हमारे करियर को एक शोभित करता है। तो गुरु के बारे में, गुरु का हमारे लिए एक ऋण है, हमें वो चुकाना है। नहीं, अगर आप ईश्वर को मानते हैं या कोई अलमाइटी को मानते हैं तो उनके प्रति आपके लिए ऋण है, देव ऋण है। एंड इन मनुष्य सोसाइटी ऋण, जो हम समाज में रहते हैं तो हमारे हर मनुष्य के प्रति एक ऋण है, क्योंकि हम जिंदगी में हर कोई एक दूसरे को साथ देता है, मदद करता है, तो वो भी एक ऋण है। हम सिर्फ बैंक के EMI के बारे में सोचते हैं, हम ये ऋण के बारे में कभी नहीं सोचते हैं। तो हमें ये ध्यान में रखना है, ये इट्स नथिंग बट द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। ये हमारी बाय बर्थ, हमारे जन्म से हम लोग इस ऋण से बंधे हुए हैं, और ये हमें यही सिखा रहा है कि आप फैमिली, सोसाइटी और पूरा देश ये एक दूसरे से जुड़ा है, एक दूसरे के प्रति ड्यूटी सेंट्रिक अप्रोच है। तो ये जो वेदा के बेसिक प्रिंसिपल एंड इन पुरुषार्थ, धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष, अल्टीमेट एंड ऑफ लाइफ। आपका धर्म या वर्चू से हमें फॉलो करना है, या आपका अर्थ से आपका इकोनॉमी ये हो सकता है, वेल्थ हो सकता है, काम और प्लेजर आपका अल्टीमेट एंड हो सकता है, और मोक्ष लिबरेशन भी आपका अल्टीमेट एंड हो सकता है। 4 है तो उसमें से आप ऑल 4 एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हो या एनी 1 एनी 2, तो डिफरेंट थेरीज है। तो ये दीज आर द बेसिक कंसेप्ट, पुरुषार्थ, ऋण, ऋत, आश्रम व्यवस्था, वर्ण व्यवस्था। ओके, सो व्हाट इज दिस? When you are talking about Ruta and all, this is the metaphysics we are discussing, what ultimate reality is. The whole world is made of 5 elements, Panchatattva. Is this real? Or some almighty or some Ishvara is there to uphold the whole system? जो कंट्रोल करता है इस पूरे सिस्टम को कोई है, तो लाइक वरुण देवता, हर तत्व का एक देवता। इंडियन ट्रेडिशन में जो मानते हैं वो उनके लिए मेनी देवता है, जो नहीं मानते हैं उनके लिए सिर्फ 5 एलिमेंट्स है। तो व्हाट यू आर डूइंग अल्टीमेटली, यू आर थिंकिंग ऑफ ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट अल्टीमेट रियलिटी ऑफ दिस होल वर्ल्ड, व्हाट इज दिस कॉस्मिक ऑर्डर यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट। तो ये जो है, दिस इज अ मेटाफिजिकल डिस्कशन। नाउ if this is real, then how you know this is real? So आपको अगर कुछ सत्य जानना है तो आपके लिए कोई मीन्स होना चाहिए, आपके पास कोई साधन होना चाहिए। इफ़ यू आर परसीविंग मी, इफ़ यू आर लिसनिंग मी, ओके, ऑन द स्क्रीन ऑफ योर फेसबुक पेज, then you have a certain means to get this knowledge, right? You are perceiving me, whether you are hearing me, you are seeing me, you can't touch me because we have a distance, okay, but sense organ say you can perceive me directly, okay? So if this Archana is real before you, then there is a means to know, is she really real, or is she there, is she Archana from Department of Philosophy? You can find out the reality through the certain means. This is nothing but, this is theory of knowledge. That is what Indian logic. Okay, so we have a different means to know the reality. So in Indian philosophy basically trying to understand what is ultimate reality. Is this the whole world is real, or beyond this world something is there? Then how to know this world is real? So if you can perceive it, you can infer it, or is there any other means to know it? So we have many means to know the reality. So we have theory of reality, that is we call metaphysics. Then to know the reality we have means of knowledge, that is we call theory of knowledge or epistemology or Indian logic. Okay, so basically this Indian philosophy in general, I'm sorry, not just Indian philosophy, the philosophy may we have 4 branches. which are the branches? One, talking about the reality, trying to understand what ultimate reality is. Is this the whole world is real? Is reality only one or many? Like Vedanta's take, only Brahman is a Satya. Then Gautam Buddha says, no, only Nibbana, that absolute truth is that the suffering is there, so you have to remove this suffering. So how to know it? You have to use certain means. Okay, so metaphysics में what ultimate reality is, this is what the discussion of topic. Then metaphysics, epistemology is the other part, other branch of Indian philosophy, and this is nothing but the theory of knowledge, theory of reasoning. And then we have the important branch of philosophy is ethics, where we talk about the moral principle of life, what is good for human life or social life. So certain norms have given for the good life, because Purushartha is there. If your ultimate end is the happiness or pleasure, or you just want to remove all the suffering and want that final stage of life, that is Nibbana or peaceful state of mind, then you have a certain rules, ethical path, like Buddha has given the Moksha Marga, right? So you have to follow it, and then only you can reach to that ultimate state of mind, that peaceful state of mind. So that is nothing but the ethics, that science of morality, okay, virtue ethics we call it. Then one more important branch is that there are many more, but in general 4-5 are very important. That other is the logic. Logic is talking about the science of truth, and aesthetic, which is talking about the science of beauty. Okay, that is not our part. The main is metaphysics and epistemology, and it's like पहले मुर्गी आई या अंडा, ये इस तरह का होता है कि पहला मेटाफिजिक्स आता है भारतीय तत्व ज्ञान में, या एपिस्टेमोलॉजी आती है. तो ये इट्स अ सर्कुलर फैलेसी, इसका जवाब कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि जब हम बोलते हैं कि भाई दिस इज व्हाट द रियलिटी, द इमीडिएट क्वेश्चन आता है कि हाउ डू यू नो दैट दिस इज द रियलिटी. ओके, और अगर मैं बोलूँ आई परस्यू दिस, तो व्हाट यू परस्यू, इमीडिएट क्वेश्चन आता है कि व्हाट अल्टीमेटली यू हैव परस्यूड. तो ये इट्स लाइक अ सर्कुलर, गोल गोल चलता है. मेटाफिजिक्स है या एपिस्टेमोलॉजी है, बट दोनों के ये दोनों का, whenever you are discussing metaphysics you have to discuss epistemology, and whenever you are discussing epistemology you have to quote metaphysics. दोनों एक दूसरे के बगैर अधूरे हैं. Okay, so these are the important branches which I have talked about. So to know the reality, we have like I said, Indian philosophy, we have a classical vision that 9 darshanas are there, and the contemporary thinker move ahead, and some people accept the Vedas, some people reject the Vedas, some completely accepted, some completely rejected. So basically Indian philosophy is divided into two sections, that is called Nastika and Astika. In what sense? As I said, the origin of Indian philosophy is Vedas, and particularly the discussion point, which basic concept which I have told before you is that the theories which I have said, that some people accept it as it is, some people deny, some people deny partially. So we have 9 vision. So Astika and Nastika, this is not the only division. We have one more vision, which is independent vision. So now your theory of logic, Indian logic and the metaphysics goes together. So to know the reality, the first is that Astika and Nastika. The Astika means those who believe, believer of Vedas. So whatever Veda talk about the reality of the whole world or the reality of the human life, they accept as it is. So whatever Veda talk about, the Shada Darshana, 6 Darshana like Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, and Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa, these are the Shada Darshana. They accept Vedas, so they call Astika Darshana, orthodox system of Indian philosophy. So I will just one line may I introduce it, because that's but during my Indian logic this word will come before you, this classical philosophy. So this is what the foundation I am repeating again and again. So you should know what is that, otherwise you will not understand my next lecture. So as I said, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, that Astika, Shadadarshana. Nyaya is actually known as the Pramana Shastra, theory of knowledge, Indian theory of knowledge, because they talk they are more emphasized on the means of knowledge. Of course, the foundation is the reality, to know how to know the reality. So they talk about the many realities. Okay, they are giving the 6 categories, 9 tattvas they are talking about. So how to know? So they are generally they are talking about 4 means of knowledge: pratyaksha, anuman, upman and shabd. Okay, so we call that Akshapat Gautama is the founder of this Nyaya system of philosophy, and it's nothing but the Indian logic. Nyaya Darshan, Nyaya Sutra is the treatise written by Akshapat Gautama. So and Vaisheshika, this goes together. Nyaya Vaisheshika, the combination is there. So they are actually have a same point of discussion. Okay, with little difference, they divided into 2 sections, but they goes together, like I said, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Sankhya Yoga, Uttar Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, because they have a same background. So Vaisheshika, of course, they are talking about the pramanas, but their main emphasis on the reality, what ultimate reality is. So they are talking about the categories. So they are we call it a Prameya Shastra. So Kanada Rishi is the founder of this Vaisheshika's Darshana. Then Sankhya, Prakriti Purusha, Kapil Rishi is the founder, and they are talking about the dual reality of the whole world. Not only just Purusha is there, Prakriti is also real. So duality they are talking about. Then yoga, अभी तो आज के ज़माने में सबको योग मालूम है, but जहाँ तक मुझे जितना भी कई लोग हमारे सामने आते, because we have many courses on the basis of yoga, that certificate, diploma and all, and सबको रामदेव बाबा पता होते हैं. पतंजलि जो एक्चुअली फाउंडर है वो बहुत कम लोगों को पता होते हैं. तो एनीवे, रामदेव बाबा इज एक्चुअली प्रमोटिंग द आवर ट्रेडिशन, सो वी हैव टू डेफिनेटली वी हैव अ रिस्पेक्ट अबाउट हिम. बट द ओरिजिन इज दैट Patanjali yoga. So they are, it's nothing but Yoga Darshana is nothing but the Indian psychology. They are talking about mind-body relation. Okay, so this is a great actually our system yoga talking about Indian psychology. Then we have Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. That Purva Mimamsa, Jaimini, focusing on Karma Kanda. Okay, that Purva Vedanta. Then Uttar Mimamsa, that Vedanta school we call Uttar Padanara and Sutra is a propounder. So Purva Mimamsa is actually focusing on Karma Kanda, all Yajna, Yaga, all the rituals practices are there, and Jnana Kanda, that Uttar Mimamsa, that Badanarayan has focus on Jnana Kanda, that theory of knowledge. And that is what all the 6 system you have, 6 pramanas you have in your syllabus is nothing but what the Vedas are, Vedanta is talking about. So as I said, Nyaya is actually Pramana Shastra in Indian tradition. They are in detail talking about the Pramanas, that Pratyaksha, Anuman, Upman and Shabd. But Purva Mimamsa, Kumaril Bhatt and Prabhakara add 2 more in Vedanta, and their additional is Arthapatti and Anupalabdhi. So these are actually the foundation. This is what the Indian logic which we supposed to discuss. But as I said many times earlier, that without the background you can't move ahead. So little bit briefly I am talking about philosophy, and that is Indian philosophy. So one side we have a Shad Darshana, that Nyaya Vaisheshika, Sankhya Yoga, Uttar Mimamsa and Purva Mimamsa. They are accepting Vedas as it is without asking any doubt or any question. Other side we have Orthodox school, and that Orthodox school again divided into 2 sections, that is Shramana tradition, where Buddhism and Jainism belongs to Shramana tradition. Okay, and one more independent school is there, that Charvaka we call it, completely denying that Vedas. So in this, that Shramana tradition are accepting moksha as the ultimate reality, that peaceful state of mind. So that they call it Shramana because they accept the moksha as the ultimate end of life. Okay, that which I talk about Purushartha concept is there in our Indian tradition. They are talking about the moksha margas. Okay, but they are not accepting Vedas as an authority. Okay, they are rejecting the Vedas in their principal background. Like Buddhism the whole philosophy of Buddha is based on one principle, that is what momentary Kshanikavada. Okay, on the basic of Kshanikavada, there is no question to accept the soul as a permanent entity. There is no question to accept the Ishvara and all. So, because everything is momentary, the whole world is just a flux of moments. So, the whole philosophy is based on Kshanikavada. Similarly, on the other hand, Jainism talk about Anikantavada. There are many realities and they are accepting moksha. They are not accepting Vedas as an authority. Okay, so on the basis of Anikantavada, many reality, because ultimately Veda talking about only one reality, that is a Brahmana. So they are not saying only Brahman is real. There are many realities are there. So they are giving their independent vision, which is based on the metaphysical principle, that is Anikantavada. Here Buddhism giving the whole philosophy, metaphysical principle is there, that is Kshanikavada. Okay, and then of course ethical paths are there. In one side we have a Ashtanga Marga given by Buddha, and we have a Triratna given by Mahavira. So, as they are rejecting Vedas as an authority, that's why they are known as Orthodox school of Indian system. नास्तिक दर्शन बोला जाता है. One more school is there, that is called Charvaka Darshana. Charvaka is actually a school. It's not a name of one individual. There are many name for this Charvak, that Brihaspati Darshan भी बोलते हैं. Some people accept that Brihaspati is a propounder of this system. And why this school is not belong to Shramana or Shadadarshana? Because they are completely rejecting Vedas on only one principle, and the principle is, our discussion, our philosophical discussion begin with what is reality. Okay, and to know the reality, we need the tool, means of knowledge, how to know the reality. So the whole discussion of philosophy goes within these metaphysical issues and the epistemological issues, right? So what is reality? Whether you say one, so one-sided, one system is there. Okay, they are talking about many more addition is there, but they are accepting Vedas as an ultimate reality. So there is Brahman is one reality, or Purusha Prakriti is reality. So that one section is there. Here Shramana tradition accept only moksha, moksha marga, and they are completely rejecting the Vedas, and they are saying that one side no soul theory is there, and the other side soul theory. Jaina are talking about the soul theory. Then other side Charvaka accept reject everything, not accepting Atma, not rejecting this beyond world, Swarga, Naraka, Ishvara and all. Why? Because the whole philosophy of Charvaka system is based on only one epistemological statement, and that statement is what? Pratyaksha is the only source of knowledge. Only perception is the soul of knowledge. Now, in this moment, if I ask you what's the reality is, and if you are a Charvakvadi, you will say this moment is real because other moment I can't pursue. Past is already gone and future is uncertain. Then why should we bother about the future and the past? Okay, you should just focus on the present moment. So that's why Charvak is actually independent. The whole philosophy except only Pratyaksha as a pramana. So whatever they are talking about this world, they and rejecting the other world on the basis of their epistemological statement that Pratyaksha is the only source of knowledge. So in this way, in our classical system, Indian tradition, we have 9 vision to see the reality of the whole world, reality of the human life, reality of everything. Okay, so this 9 vision is divided into 3 sections, that orthodox, those who accept Vedas, heterodox, those who deny Veda, and the independent school Charvak, they reject everything. They are not talking about the soul theory and anything. Whether it is soul or no soul doesn't matter for them, because only Pratyaksha is real for them. So this is classical philosophy, which is based on medieval and contemporary philosophy. Now, I will tell you that in our philosophy syllabus we have a contemporary philosophy, and now thanks to UGC, after a long time they have added Jyotiba Phule and Dr. Ambedkar in our philosophy syllabus, and they are all philosophers, right? So they are actually contemporary thinker. And what contemporary philosophers are doing? Of course, contemporary philosopher is dealing the same issues. That don't forget the 4 branches of philosophy. And Jyotiba Phule is reinterpreting, rejecting somewhere tradition, and he is reinterpreting Indian tradition. As he is not talking about the 4 varna, he talks about only Dvivarna. Okay, then on the other hand, Dr. Ambedkar talk about the what is the reason of this. Because of this varnashram, that becomes the caste system. It is actually class system, but becomes a caste system because some of the class wants to be superior and they just want to hate the whole world, and the whole problem is there. So they are actually rejecting the basic some principles and reinterpreting they're giving their own thought, and that's why they're contemporary thinkers. Okay, but of course Dr. Ambedkar talking about Nimbara, he accept the one vision from Indian system, that is a Buddhism. Okay, and his Buddhism is known as Nava Buddhism, that Neo Buddhism. So actually accepting the Buddha as a ideal Purusha, the whole philosophy of Buddha, and giving his own additional thought, that is Nava Buddhism, Neo Buddhism. So these are all the contemporary thinkers, but without understanding classical, they are focusing only on, because Dr. Ambedkar has talked about the social issue, caste, gender and all. On the other hand, Jyotiba Phule also focusing on the caste and gender issue. These are all philosophical issue. These are not just a social issue. If you see the 4 branches, it's nothing but that dealing with the whole reality, whole world, okay, dealing with the human being's life, the other life, society includes. So the whole science actually belongs to philosophy. Philosophy is talking about sociology, philosophy is discussing psychology, philosophy discussing sciences, everything, and that's why philosophy is actually a mother of all sciences. वो होता है ना कि माँ ने बच्चों को पैदा कर दिया और बच्चे बड़े हो गए तो पंछी को पर निकल जाते हैं, घोंसला से उड़ जाते हैं, उसके बाद पीछे पलट के भी नहीं देखते। आज की अवस्था पे वही हो जाती है कि फिलॉसफी से निकले हैं, अपना अपना ब्रांच बना लिया है और फिर बोलते हैं व्हाट इज़ फिलॉसफी, कौन है, क्या है, कैसा है, वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। तो वो अभी फिलॉसफी का अवस्था एक्चुअली ऐसे हो गई है। बट इफ़ यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ द इंडियन फिलॉसफी, यू विल कम टू नो इट इज़ नथिंग बट द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल द साइंसेज, एंड द सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ फिलॉसफी इज एवरीथिंग, नॉट ओनली दिस वर्ल्ड, बियॉन्ड द वर्ल्ड इज ऑल्सो अ डिस्कशन पार्ट ऑफ फिलॉसफी. So this is just briefly I talk about the philosophy, and I mentioned that epistemology is one of the branch of philosophy. Now epistemology is nothing but of what? How to know the reality. So that is the theory of knowledge, and theory of knowledge is nothing but the logic. Okay. Now I think this brief introduction is more than sufficient for the class. Now let me just introduce what is the important branch which we are discussing for this section, your unit 6, that's Indian logic. So for logic, keep in mind we use the word, it's not a Western logic we are talking about, which I already discussed in 4th section. Okay, there we use the word logic. Now this we are using the word for theory of knowledge, we are using epistemology. Okay, so epistemology, as I always say, whenever I discuss any topic, I just go with the root cause and I just start with the meaning of that term. What is this? So the term epistemology comes from the Greek words, that is episteme, E-P-I-S-T-E-M-E, episteme and logos. What is episteme means? Episteme can be translated as knowledge or understanding or acquaintance. Now see, episteme is a knowledge. Knowledge about what? Knowledge about the whole world. knowledge about your life. Okay, understanding, you are trying to understand what ultimate end of your life is, what is ultimate reality of your suffering, what is the cause, you are trying to understand. So episteme is this. So epistemology, if episteme is a knowledge, okay, so epistemology means theory of knowledge. I hope you understand the etymological meaning of epistemology. So that logos in Western logic, during Western logic, I said logic comes from the logos, Greek word, that is the argument or reasoning and all. So it is related to that, but the way of understanding we are taking that Western logic is nothing but the theory of inference in our Indian epistemology or Indian theory of knowledge. Okay, how it is, I will when I take the theory of inference, the Anumana Pramana, then I will definitely talk about it more. So so epistemology is the nature of knowledge, justification and the rationality of belief. Sorry for interruption. I repeat again, I think it's continuation, the session is continuing. Can you hear me, Professor Wagh? So epistemology is the study of the nature of knowledge, justification and the rationality of belief. Much debate in epistemology centers on 4 areas. The philosophical analysis of the nature of philosophy, okay, knowledge, and how it relates to such concepts as truth, belief and justification. Various problems of skepticism, that is a part of Western theory of knowledge that we will not discuss. The source and scope of knowledge and justified through belief, and the criteria for knowledge and justification. So epistemology addresses such question as what makes justified believed justified. What does it mean to say that we know something? As I start metaphysical question, that I know this is what the reality. So what does it mean that you say that you know something? And the immediate fundamental question begins that how do we know that we know something? Okay, so if you are saying this is what the reality, so how you know the reality, that immediate question comes, and that is nothing but the epistemological issue. So the central question of epistemology include the origin of knowledge, okay, the place of experience in generating knowledge. So we have to try to understand what is the origin of your knowledge, how you get the knowledge, there is certain process, and the place of reason in doing so. So the relationship between knowledge and the responsibility of error. Now when you talk about the knowledge, so there should be no error. So knowledge is of 2 kinds, true knowledge and false knowledge. I will discuss after a few minutes. So all of these issues link with the central concept of epistemology. So Indian system of philosophy is discussing all these things. Now when I say that, when you talk about the knowledge is the theory of knowledge or epistemology. So Indian epistemology means the Indian theory of knowledge or Indian logic, which word is there in your syllabus. Okay, so knowledge is actually true or false. Okay, knowledge जो होता है वो प्रमा and अप्रमा we call. Prama means true knowledge, aprama means false knowledge. Okay, so prama and aprama, if you remember my logic class, that we say that when you say that this proposition is true and the true and false of the two characteristics of proposition, और हम कब बोलते हैं हमारा विधान सत्य है, जब वो correspond करता है fact को, right? Similarly, your knowledge is, if you are listening me or hearing me or attending this session, and if you say this is Archana, so this is Archana is nothing but your knowledge. And if it corresponds to the fact, if the fact is there, then your knowledge is true. That is Prama. Okay. And if that is not the fact, if somebody else is there and talking before you, then when you say this is Archana, will become a Prama false knowledge. Okay. So Prama depend on the corresponding to the fact. If fact is there, your knowledge is true. If the fact is not there, if it is denying the fact, then it is false knowledge. So when you talk about the knowledge theory, there are 4 factors involved. जब हम ज्ञान मीमांसा की बात करते हैं, भारतीय तत्व ज्ञान में बेसिकली ज्ञान मीमांसा है, वस्तु मीमांसा है, मेटाफिजिक्स, एपिस्टेमोलॉजी, ओके, एथिक्स है, नीति शास्त्र हम बोलते हैं, नीति मीमांसा है जो मॉरल साइंस की बात करता है, वर्चू एथिक्स की बात करता है। फिर हमारे पास मोक्ष सिद्धांत है, मोक्ष मीमांसा है, जहाँ पे हम जो मोक्ष मानते हैं वो मोक्ष मार्ग, ये सब डिस्कशन है हमारे पास में। फिर पुनर्जन्म का थ्योरी है, ये सारी थ्योरी इंडियन फिलोसॉफी में आता है। जिससे मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है मेटाफिजिक्स एंड एपिस्टेमोलॉजी, दैट ज्ञान मीमांसा। जब हम ज्ञान मीमांसा की बात करते हैं, ज्ञान सिद्धांत की बात करते हैं, तो उसमें 4 चीज़ें बहुत ज़रूरी है। देयर आर 4 फैक्टर्स विच आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, विच आर दे व्हेन आई से दैट इफ आई से आई परसीव यू, yes, this is Archana. What is meaning of that? If you say I perceive Archana and I can see Archana, so that I is one part. जिसको नॉलेज मिला है वो एक होता है, ठीक है। आपने बोला ना I see Archana, तो I is one. Archana is the object of your knowledge, ठीक है। और see here is the means, प्रमाण, ओके। सो इट्स ए डायरेक्ट परसेप्शन। आप मुझे डायरेक्ट सुन रहे हैं, लाइव टेलीकास्ट हो रहा है ना, लाइव जो हम बोलते हैं। सो लाइव टेलीकास्ट इज ए डायरेक्ट टेलीकास्ट, डायरेक्ट आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं, आप मुझे देख रहे हैं। तो 4 चीजें, व्हेन यू से आई सी अर्चना and I can see Archana or I can hear Archana, this is the whole statement is actually 4 factors are there. One is we call that pramatru, the subject who knows, जिसको नॉलेज हो रहा है, प्रमातृ कहते हैं, ओके। देन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ नॉलेज, प्रमेय। सो यू हैव अ ऑब्जेक्ट, आई एम अ ऑब्जेक्ट, यू आर अ सब्जेक्ट। फॉर मी यू आर अ ऑब्जेक्ट, आई एम अ सब्जेक्ट, ओके। सो प्रमातृ, प्रमेय, प्रमाण एंड प्रमा। प्रमातृ नोर, प्रमेय ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ नॉलेज, and pramana means of knowledge, and prama knowledge itself, okay। so जो हमने बोला I see Archana और I can hear Archana, so ये जो आपका knowledge है, that is the one part, one factor of your process. So when you talk about the knowledge theory, these 4 factors are important. I am repeating again and again. Why? Because there is a scope of questions, okay। I repeat again, 4 factors: pramatru, knower of knowledge, who knows, subject we can call; prameya, object of knowledge; pramano, means of knowledge, instrument of knowledge, we can say means, okay। Prama means knowledge itself. So prama is a valid knowledge, so this knowledge can be a valid, invalid, as we have discussed in Western logic, validity and invalidity of an argument. So ये जो आपका knowledge है, आपका true false हो सकता है, because if it is corresponding to fact, now you are seeing me, you are watching me, you are observing me, you are listening me, so that's a prama, true knowledge। अगर वो fact नहीं है तो वो अप्रमा हो जाएगा। So knowledge is true or false, okay। Now the process जब start होता है, when the process start, आपको पहले से मालूम नहीं होता है। when you talk about the knowledge ना, knowledge means you are getting something new, novelty is the character is like research आप करते हैं, तो ये मेरा research है, तो something new you add ना। Similarly when you are gaining something, that gaining something is nothing but the new knowledge, okay। So novelty is the important part for the knowledge, and then only you can say yes, I have a knowledge about this. So something new you are getting, something new you are getting there, that's very important. So novelty is the good character for the knowledge. Now like छोटा बच्चा होता है, उसको जब हम इनिशियल स्टेज में सिखाते हैं, उसको कुछ पता नहीं होता है बच्चे को, जब तक टच नहीं करता है, ओके। हम उसको बोलते हैं कि गर्म चीज़ों से हम रोकते हैं कि मत छुओ, दिया अगर जल रहा है, बच्चा जा रहा है, तो हम पट से खींच लेते हैं उसको, वो जाता है, उसे मालूम नहीं होता है कि ये गर्म है, बराबर। पर जब तक वो छूता नहीं है, टच नहीं होता है, उसका कांटेक्ट नहीं आता है वो ऑब्जेक्ट से, तब तक वो छूने की कोशिश करता है, बराबर। जब तक कोई चीज़ आप खाए नहीं, टेस्ट नहीं करें, आपको पता नहीं चलता है कि ये चीज़ खाने योग्य है या नहीं। एक बार आपने जब टेस्ट कर ली, उसके बाद आपको पसंद आएगी या नापसंद होगी। तो ये जो पसंद नापसंद है, एक्सेप्टेंस एंड रिजेक्शन जो है, वो फर्स्ट मोमेंट में डिसाइड करता है आपका कांटेक्ट होना। आपका उससे कांटेक्ट बहुत ज़रूरी है। फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड देन ओनली once that small kid touch that diya, then immediate हाथ निकालेगा क्योंकि उसको गर्म लगा। फिर एक दो बार और छुआ, उसके बाद वो जाना ही बंद कर देगा, क्योंकि उसको पता है कि अभी ये गर्म चीज़ है। उसको भले ही दिया मालूम नहीं, शब्द मालूम नहीं, बट जब भी वो जल्दी हुए कुछ देखेगा, उसको वो दिया के जैसा फॉर्म दिखेगा, वो बोलेगा कि अरे ये गर्म है, अब वो जाना अपने आप को रोक देगा। तो बिफोर यू गेट समथिंग, योर माइंड इज एक्चुअली एम्प्टी। Western philosopher use the word in the process of knowledge. Actually, your mind is tabula rasa, means you don't have any impression about that particular object. Empty impression. You don't have any impression about that particular object which is there before you. Okay, once you have the impression, first impression, second impression, third impression, then you will have that knowledge, yes, this is what this. आइस कोल्ड होता है, ठंडा होता है। हमने कई बार आइस को टेस्ट किया, हमारा कांटेक्ट हुआ, तब बिना टच किए हम बोलेंगे कि बर्फ जो है ठंडा होता है, बराबर। उसी तरह जलता हुआ दिया अगर होगा तो वो बच्चे को भी एक बार दो बार छूने के बाद पता चल जाता है कि ये गर्म है। मतलब वो स्पर्श गर्म ठंडा भी नहीं मालूम उसको, वो स्पर्श योग्य नहीं है और वो बिल्कुल भी हाथ नहीं लगाता है। तो नॉलेज इस तरह होता है कि आपका कांटेक्ट होना ज़रूरी है ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ, भले ही वो डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट हो, फिर उसके बाद पहले ही माइंड में ऑब्जेक्ट आपका एक बार फिक्स हो गया, उसके बाद वो इन्फरेंशियल हो या कोई और मीन्स से आपको मिले। तो नॉलेज में ये जो प्रोसेस होती है, प्रमातृ, प्रमेय, प्रमा, प्रमाण, ये जो 4 फैक्टर्स है वो बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। उसके बाद नॉलेज जब आप बोलेंगे, व्हेन यू से दिस इज व्हाट आई गॉट, दिस इज व्हाट द नॉलेज आई गॉट फ्रॉम दिस क्लास, सो यू आर गेटिंग समथिंग न्यू which you do not have earlier. So you are getting something new from this session, then only you said, yeah, of course I understand Indian logic or I understand Indian philosophy. Because before that you have no impression about Indian philosophy. So your mind was tabula rasa, and now I am talking, I am giving you certain information. You are just listening. You can read more about Indian philosophy and you will get more knowledge about this. So this is what the pramana means of knowledge, where it's an instrument, whether it is a direct perception, pratyaksha, okay, whether it is inference, anumana, whether it is a shabda, what is that pramanas, many pramanas I will discuss after some time. So in the process of knowledge we have certain things, and the pramana in Sanskrit word, pramana is a Sanskrit word which means measure. एक क्वेश्चन आपका पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकता है जिसमें आप मेजर कर रहे हैं आप नॉलेज को कि मुझे ये गेन हुआ है, ओके, ये मिला है मुझे, ये मैंने जाना है। सो प्रमाणा इज अ संस्कृत वर्ड विच मीन्स मेजर, एंड द कंसेप्ट ऑफ प्रमाणा इज वेरी क्रिटिकल फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द लॉज ऑफ इंडियन लॉजिक एंड द फिलोसॉफी ऑफ नॉलेज. सो your section which is there in Indian logical reasoning, that pramanas, what is pramana, means of knowledge, that is the headline, or that is the title, subtitle of your Indian logic syllabus, that means of pramanas. So pramana is the very critical understanding of the law which Indian logic you have to understand. So you should understand what pramana is. So without understanding these important factors in knowledge, you will not understand logic, Indian logic easily. Okay. So in Indian philosophy, this word represents all the means through which true and accurate knowledge about the world can be obtained. So if you use this praman, whether it is pratyaksha, anumana, shabda, verbal testimony, arthapatti or anupalabdhi, any, so you can have a knowledge about the whole whole world, and that is true knowledge. See, you are getting the true knowledge. A different school of thoughts, which I have discussed 9 system of thoughts, and philosophies has a varied number of means through which one can make the sense of them world. So see, metaphysical root is very much important, metaphysical principles are important, and which means of knowledge the particular system of Indian philosophy is accepting, then the whole philosophy of that system is based on that. Okay, like so the pramana, this word used in Indian tradition in 2 meanings. One is of course means of knowledge, and that is valid, true knowledge. Okay, and types of knowledge. Okay, so true sense mein these pramanas are used in our Indian epistemology. Now all together we have 6 pramanas, which are they, one by one I will discuss later on. Now, as I have given you a classical system of Indian philosophy, which divided into Shadadarshana, Shramana tradition, Shramana Darshana, and then independent school, that is the Charvak. So this pramana is in general 6 are there, but 9 systems have not necessarily accepted all the pramanas. Some accepted only one, other accept only 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. What is that? Let me just tell you why. Because there is a scope of question, many questions can come on this basis. Okay, so just keep in mind classical system, there are 9 schools of philosophy, that Charvaka. Then you have Jainism, Buddhism, Sankhya, Yoga, and Uttar Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa. Okay, so these are the 9 system, 9 vision. So Charvak accept only one pramana, and that is Pratyaksha. Okay, only one pramana. On the basis of this perception, Pratyaksha is the only source of knowledge. Okay, so whatever you can perceive is real for Charvaka. Forget about the metaphysical world. There is no question about what happened after your death. Whether the soul exists, it doesn't matter. Once death is actually end of your life. Because you can't pursue Atman कहाँ जाता है, किधर जाता है, स्वर्ग नरक, you don't know, you can't pursue. कोई भी वापस नहीं आया है कि हाँ मैं स्वर्गवासी हो गया था तो मैं यहाँ से विजिट करके वापस आके आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि स्वर्ग है या नरक है. You can't pursue. So how can you talk about Swarga Naraka? So they reject completely. On the other hand, Buddhist logic, Buddhism and Vaisheshika accept 2 pramanas, perception and inference. I will discuss one by one. There is a difference between the Nayayika Pratyaksha and a Buddhist Pratyaksha. Okay, so they are accepting perception and inference. Sankhya Yoga and Jaina accept 3 pramana, Pratyaksh, Anumana and verbal testimony, Shabda. Nayayika accept 4. As I said earlier, Nayayika is known as a theory of inference, Indian theory of inference, Indian logic. They are accepting 4 pramanas, Pratyaksh, Anuman, Upman and Shabda, and the whole philosophy is talking about in detail. Argument is there between Buddhist logic and Nayayika. We have an Indian logic paper, and during our session we discuss the counter argument, Prativadi, Vadi Prativadi. This discussion is a part of our syllabus. Then Mimamsa, Prabhakar Mimamsa and Kumaril Mimamsa. Prabhakar accept 5, that he has add Arthapati, that is Purva Mimamsa accept Arthapati, and the addition Kumaril Bhatt added Anupalabdhi. So especially Vedanta talk about 6 means of knowledge: Pratyaksh, Anuman, Upman, Shabda, Arthapati and Anupalabdhi. So the part of your syllabus is actually based on Vedanta school, but not necessary, because the meaning is same, but only Vedanta school talk about all 6 kinds of pramana. As I said, first part of Mimamsa, that Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa, that division is there. So first part focus on the Karma Kanda and the other part focus on the Jnana Kanda. So in Jnana Kanda they are talking about all the 6 pramanas. Okay. So ultimately, kinds of pramanas. So we have in general in Indian philosophy we have 6 kinds of pramana. Today I will just giving you a brief idea about the 6 pramanas, and tomorrow, because your main part, that Anumana, it's a very big topic. Actually, basically we take 2-hour sessions for this whole syllabus is a 1-year syllabus for us. But as we connect with the all system, we deal with all 9 system. I do not have any idea about that what expectation is there, but the basic question can be come to your next set exam, so that I can give an idea कि इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ये ज़रूरी है, वो ज़रूरी है. तो सबसे पहले तो आपको 9 सिस्टम के नाम मालूम होने चाहिए इंडियन फिलॉसफी के, और उसके बगैर आप जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे कि चारवाक ने कौन सा प्रमाण एक्सेप्ट किया है या बुद्धिज़्म ने कौन सा प्रमाण एक्सेप्ट किया है. तो आपको 9 सिस्टम के नाम और उनका फाउंडेशन प्रिंसिपल मालूम होना चाहिए. उसके बाद जो प्रमाणा की काइंड से प्रत्यक्ष, अनुमान, उपमान, शब्द, वर्बल टेस्ट, अनुपलब्धि, अर्थोपत्ति एंड अनुपलब्धि, उसका मीनिंग मालूम होना चाहिए, उसका मायने मालूम होना चाहिए, तभी तो आपको उसका एप्लीकेशन करना आएगा. अगर आपको कोई एग्जाम्पल दिया गया हो, तो अगर आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है तो आपको मीनिंग ही नहीं मालूम, तो आप कैसे सही जवाब दे पाओगे. तो आपको पहले तो उसका मतलब क्या है, प्रमाण का मतलब क्या है, जो मैंने अभी बताया मीन्स ऑफ नॉलेज, प्रमातृ का मतलब क्या है, प्रमा का मतलब क्या है, प्रमेय का मतलब क्या है, ये सब जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है. विदाउट दैट यू कैनॉट अंडरस्टैंड इंडियन लॉजिक. सो I repeat again, there are 4 factors in epistemology, and the 4 factors are that pramatru is the knower of the knowledge, prameya, object of the knowledge, okay, then you have pramana, instrument or means of true knowledge, and prama itself. If you remember my Western logic class, Aristotle talk about subject predicate type of proposition. So every proposition has subject, every proposition have predicate. That is what Aristotle talk about, and he talks about the whole class and universal and particular, that classification he has given. But यहाँ पे Indian ज्ञान मीमांसा जो है, भारतीय ज्ञान मीमांसा एनालिसिस कर रही है कि एक इंडिविजुअल को जब अगर किसी बात का ज्ञान होता है, तो वो ज्ञान में, उस प्रोसेस में क्या चीज़ें ज़रूरी है. सबसे पहले तो ज्ञान किसी को हो रहा है, तो वो प्रमात्र हुआ, चाहे मैं हूँ या आप हो. जब अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ ज्ञान हुआ है, तो किस बात का ज्ञान हुआ है, कोई तो ऑब्जेक्ट होगा. ओके, जैसा मैं आपका ऑब्जेक्ट हूँ, आप मेरा ऑब्जेक्ट है, तो वो ज्ञान का एक ऑब्जेक्ट हुआ, उसको हम प्रमेय कहते हैं, राइट. देन किसी ना किसी माध्यम से आपको नॉलेज हुआ है, ज्ञान हुआ है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप स्थित प्रज्ञ हो, एकदम एनलाइटेंड सोल हो, आँख बंद करके भी, अगर वो भी एक प्रमाण है. ओके, भारतीय दर्शन ने उसकी भी चर्चा की है. तो कोई तो मीन्स होगा, साधन होगा, जिससे आप बोलते कि मुझे नॉलेज हुआ. तो दैट इज व्हाट मीन्स ऑफ नॉलेज, दैट इज प्रमाण कंसेप्ट. ओके, एंड ऑल टुगेदर जब आप वो कंक्लूजन देते हो, दिस इज व्हाट आई गॉट, तो वो नथिंग बट द प्रमा नॉलेज हो जाता है. सो प्रमातृ, प्रमेय, प्रमाण, प्रमा, दीज आर द 4 फैक्टर्स. एंड अपना जो टॉपिक है यूनिट 6 का इंडियन लॉजिक, वो इन डिटेल टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट इज मीन्स ऑफ नॉलेज, प्रमाण. ओके, सो अभी आपको प्रमाण समझ में आ गया. प्रमाण इज द मीन्स ऑफ नॉलेज, एंड वी हैव 6 pramanas in Indian system, and especially Vedanta school talk about 6, altogether 6 pramanas. So quickly I just giving you the brief idea about what pratyaksha, anuman, upman, shabda, and this is there. And then tomorrow definitely I will go in detail, because theory of inference is a big part of Indian logic section, and then we have a theory of error. So I need 1 hour for that. And of course if I do in detail, and if I feel that as a teacher I can feel that ये क्वेश्चन भी आ सकता है, वो क्वेश्चन भी आ सकता है, तो मुझे मेरे टॉपिक के साथ अगर जस्टिस करना है, तो थोड़ी और इन्फॉर्मेशन और प्रमाणास के बारे में देनी होगी, तभी मैं पूरा सेक्शन को जस्टिस दे पाऊंगी. सो Pratyaksha is actually a direct knowledge. So our knowledge is divided into 2 parts, direct and indirect. Okay, so direct knowledge जहाँ पे आपका सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट कॉन्टेक्ट होता है, इनडायरेक्ट नॉलेज जो किसी के आधार पे रहता है. तो बेसिकली आपका जो नॉलेज होता है वो डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट होता है. So pratyaksh is actually a direct knowledge. even Western thinker, even Western philosopher accepted pratyaksha as a fundamental important pramanas of all other means of knowledge. So this is main, pratyaksha is the main, all other knowledge is actually based on pratyaksha. So pratyaksha जो होता है वो डायरेक्ट नॉलेज होता है, साक्षात नॉलेज होता है. तो हमारे पास सेंस ऑर्गन्स है, मैं डिटेल में कल जाऊंगी क्योंकि इसके भी काइंड्स है और वो भी जहाँ तक मैंने सैम्पल क्वेश्चंस देखे थे उसमें मैंने देखा आपको लौकिक अलौकिक ये सब वर्ड आए हुए हैं. तो अगर मैं जस्टिस नहीं करूँगी तो आप अगर फ्यूचर में या जून में जुलाई में या जो भी आपका एग्ज़ाम होगा अगर क्वेश्चन आएगा तो आप आंसर नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो प्रत्यक्ष इन डिटेल में कर जाऊंगी. जस्ट फॉर द टुडेज मोमेंट प्रत्यक्ष मीन्स डायरेक्ट नॉलेज एंड दिस इज द ओनली डायरेक्ट नॉलेज. ऑल अदर नॉलेजेस इज based on pratyaksha. Then anumana literally means anumana, after knowledge. So basically anumana based on the pratyaksha. First instance, you have a material data with you. On the basis of that, if you are perceiving something, you will connect the thing which is there in your mind and the direct thing and connect, and on the basis of that material you will infer something. That is what the inference is, anumana after knowledge. Then शब्द मीन्स वर्बल टेस्टिमोनी. ओके, तो अगर आप शब्द जो होता है it's we call it's a authoritative statement. Like if you feel that Archana madam is the authority of the Indian logic or Western logic, so whatever I tell you, you will accept without any argument or without any question. Okay, so if you accept certain authority like Shatadarshana accept Vedas as an authority, so whatever Veda talk they accept as it is without any argument, so that is called शाब्दिक knowledge, शब्द ज्ञान. आपको वो रिटर्न में श्रुति स्मृति में मिलेगा या फिर किसी के बोलने से मिलेगा, आप एक्सेप्ट कर लोगे, तो वो शब्द ज्ञात होता है. उपमाना इज कॉल्ड कंपैरिजन. सो इट इज लाइक अ संज्ञा संधि संबंध ज्ञान. क्या है वो मैं डिटेल में आपको बताऊंगी. इट्स नॉलेज ऑफ कंपैरिजन. आप टू वर्ल्ड की दो चीज़ों को कंपेयर करते हैं और उससे आपको एक न्यू नॉलेज मिलता है. दैट इज व्हाट उपमाना. अर्थपत्ति जो है इम्प्लीकेशन, the two addition Vedantas talk about, it's an assumption. So you assume something, कुछ गृहित धर लेते हैं हम और उसके आधार पे अगर जो भी सिचुएशन वर्ल्ड में आपके सामने होगी आप ये मान लेते हैं कि ये शायद इसका रीज़न होगा और उसके आधार पे आप आपका कंक्लूजन या फिर आप अपना स्टेटमेंट देते हैं. उसको अर्थपत्ति बोलते हैं, इम्प्लीकेशन. देन अनुपलब्धि, दैट इज नॉन एम्प्रीहेंशन. जैसे चीज़ें आपके सामने हैं उसका आपको डायरेक्ट प्रत्यक्ष होता है, उसी तरह आप चीज़ें अगर आपके सामने नहीं हैं, प्रेजेंट नहीं हैं, तो उसका भी आप डायरेक्ट नॉलेज कर सकते हो. सपोज अभी मेरे सामने आप सब नहीं हैं तो उसका भी मुझे प्रत्यक्ष हो सकता है. मैं आपके सामने हूँ बट खाली वर्ड्स के साधन में आप मेरे सामने आपके नाम देख पा रही हूँ, तो नाम से मैं बोलूँगी कि हाँ ये उपस्थित है, वो उपस्थित नहीं है. राइट, तो नाम का आधार है सिर्फ मेरे सामने, उसको मैं एजम्पशन बोलूँगी. ओके, और उस जो भी आपने डायलॉग्स लिखे उसके आधार पे मैं बोलूँगी इतने लोग हैं और ये नहीं है. अगर किसी का नाम अगर मैं नहीं देख रही हूँ तो मैं वो भी परस्यू कर सकती हूँ, वो उसका भी नॉलेज मुझे मिल सकता है. इट्स अ नॉलेज ऑफ नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस थिंग. ओके, वो क्या है वो इन डिटेल मैं आपको कल बताऊँगी. तो ये जो प्रमाणास है वो 6 प्रमाणास ऑल टुगेदर हमारे इंडियन फिलॉसफी में, भारतीय तत्व ज्ञान में, ज्ञान मीमांसा में बताया गया है. प्रत्यक्ष, अनुमान, उपमान, शब्द, अर्थपत्ति एंड अनुपलब्धि. ओके, और I told in the beginning, without knowing the background of understanding of Indian philosophy, it's very difficult to अंडरस्टैंड इंडियन लॉजिक. एंड मेरा ये प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव है. जब यही क्लास मैं अपने फिलोसॉफी स्टूडेंट के सामने लेती हूँ वो जल्दी ग्रास्प कर लेते क्योंकि पास उनके फाउंडेशन है. बट यही क्लास अगर मैं नॉन फिलोसॉफी स्टूडेंट के सामने लेती हूँ तो उनको हर चीज़ें बताना ज़रूरी होता है क्योंकि उनके पास वो फाउंडेशन नहीं होता है. तो विदाउट फाउंडेशन, फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल, इट्स डिफ़िकल्ट to understand the subject in detail. Okay, that is what I told you again and again. So in brief today I talk about what is Indian philosophy or basic principle of Indian philosophy, and I said that epistemology that theory of knowledge is one of the very important branch of philosophy. Whether it is Indian or Western doesn't matter. In general philosophy, we have four important branches, and epistemology or theory of knowledge is one of the important branch. Okay, so it's nothing but to know how to know the reality. This is what the question we deal with. So we are analyzing the means of knowledge, the subject of the knowledge, and who are getting this knowledge. So we are talking about the four important factors of knowledge, and whether your knowledge is true or fact, that also we are trying to understand. And once you have everything, or if your knowledge is on based on the fact, you will say yes, my knowledge is true, that is prama. Or if that fact is not there, then it will becomes aprama. There is a process of knowledge. If your process is correct, you will get the correct knowledge. Otherwise there is a scope of fallacy, and that fallacy is related to inference, that is anumana. That is a big topic which I will deal tomorrow. So I hope with this session you got at least the idea about Indian philosophy and Indian epistemology, Indian logic, that is the theory of knowledge. And I think yesterday or day before yesterday I saw that they have extended the date for the NET online submission. So till 15 June you can submit the NET form. So those who are appearing for the NET exam, you can visit the website and fill the form. Okay, so I close this session today, and thank you so much. Good night, take care.